Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'd like to welcome you back to the Shack in Oregon. This is Ham Radio Live. It is Friday, January 22nd, 2021, and it's my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Bob. Also, I'd like to ask you, please hit the subscribe button. Notice you didn't see an ad before the show came on, and you won't see a single ad the entire time we are live or on replay. How can you go wrong? It's a way for people to find the channel, my friends. So please hit that subscribe button. It helps people find us here on YouTube. Welcome to the show. Happy Friday, everybody. This is going to be big and fun. Yeah. You know, the number one question I receive in emails truly is, how do I stay on the air? I'm in a very restricted antenna area. How can I make this happen? Thanks for the thumbs up. That's always nice. Thank you. How can I stay on the air? I mean, I get dozens of these, and I'm not kidding. It is the number one question by far from ham radio operators around the world. How can I stay on the air? And that's the truth. You're in an apartment or a condo, right? Or you're maybe in some community where you just don't have the ability to put up a vertical or a dipole. What do? How do you stay on the air? Welcome, November 1, Lima. Sorry, going to say it right. November 1, Tango Lima Foxtrot. Welcome to the show. Sorry, I didn't mean to get your call sign messed up. Hey, we've got a good one. California is in the house. Hello there to my good friend TC. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Also, got a good one. Look at this. From Dominica. Yes, sir. Welcome. Thank you, Ishmael. Good to see you, my friend. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. He is Juliet 72, India, Mike Sierra. Also, the Netherlands just checked in. Take a look at that. How about that? Martin, Papa Echo 9, Tango, India Golf. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you. He says, get a mag loop. It's right there. We're going to show you how you can stay on the air. If you're in a restricted area, say you can't put an antenna up, right? You're in the 4th floor, 3rd floor, whatever, of a big apartment building, or say it's a loft, right? But you're a ham radio operator. You're moving there and you can't put up a vertical somewhere or a dipole somewhere. And you're like, I got to get off the air. I've got dozens of these emails, truly. Okay. I'm going to show you how you do it. Now, I need to preface this by saying ham radio, like I've always said, is like fishing, right? Sometimes you catch them, sometimes you don't. Let me tell you how we're doing this. And I'm going to show you something that no one on YouTube has done. We're going to use an RXTX loop right there in the shack behind us, and I'll show you it will work. Okay. Alan, Alpha Bravo 8, Alpha Sierra, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Sean Hartley, look at that, snowing on the east side of the Cascades. Welcome to the show, Sean. Stay safe over there. Okay. Stay safe. Beautiful country out there. Scott, welcome to the show as well. Good to have you. Gosh, what a joy. Full house tonight. Thanks for being here. All right. So let me show you how this is set up. For folks that are restricted in an area where they just can't put up, a large antenna, and I'm not talking about, a tower with a directional beam and all that. I'm talking about just a simple dipole or a vertical, right? You're in a tenement apartment or whatever, and you cannot get an antenna up. Here's how you stay on the air. All right. Now, first of all, it's important. Before we go further, Nikolai back from Romania. Yeah, that's awesome. Good to see you, Nikolai. As always, never, ever lose sight of you coming. Thanks for being here, man. Also, Ishmael, I have a 40-meter inverted V antenna, tunable on 80. Look at that, 1.1 to 1 SWR on a 5.9 signal. Nice work, my friend. Keep up the good work in the Dominica. That's good stuff. All right, this is going to be an interesting show. Different camera angles, okay? Let me first show you this, okay? We're going to show you the way that we're going to be doing it is through the MFJ 1788. This is the receive transmit loop antenna, and it's set for 40 to 6. Okay, they also make the 1786, which doesn't include 40 meters. I wanted 40, so I got the 1788. All right. It is sitting on the MFJ 1919 tripod. So imagine the MFJ 1919 tripod holding up this loop antenna. Since I'm on the second story of my home, I have it horizontal because they say if it's over 20 feet, you should mount it horizontally. We're going to take a look and see what it does not only to the S meter, but also to the display as best I can show you as you turn it. Is it going to be directional? Is there going to be any difference at all? Think about it this way. If you ever had a portable AM radio and you've done some DXing with it and you turn it because it has an internal antenna inside that's directional, the signal will either come in or fade out depending upon how you turn the radio. Let's see what happens when we use the loop and do the same thing, but this time on the ham bands, okay? So we'll take a quick look at it. Also going to be showing you the S meter up close on the Yaesu FTDX 5000. So we'll get you all put together. You can follow along, and hopefully this will be one of the biggest shows we ever do. I hope so, because I really believe in the value of a loop antenna. First of all, what do you need? Well, it's important to have a radio that has a dedicated RX transmit capability. Okay. Let me start by saying I understand that DX Engineering does sell an INRAD 7300 kit for the 7300. However, the 7300 is not built for RX in and TX out through different antenna ports. I'm sure it works fine. I'm just not one that wants to risk my 7300 over a long period of time to make sure it will work flawlessly. Okay? Not saying it doesn't work. I just want a radio that's built with an RX and TX input. Let me give you some examples. First of all, if you're a Kenwood person, they make a great one. This is the back of the 590 SG. Notice 2 antenna ins. We've done this before, but it's important to get back on review. 2 antenna inputs, you can use one of them as an RF, okay? If you want the ICOM, the closest new ICOM you get now with multiple antenna ins, meaning it's got a dedicated RX, is going to be the 7610, okay? Here's a small postage stamp, zoom it in, and there you go. Look on the left side. And what's cool about what ICOM did is they used BNCs. That's important because if you get something like a Wellbrook loop, like I have, it's BNC. Simple then. Just buy the BNC coax, you're going. All right. Yaesu folks, let's say, for example, you have or would be interested in getting the FTDX 10. Okay, it's a 1 antenna in. Keep that in mind. But the 3000 isn't. The 3000, in fact, has a dedicated RX input. That's big because you can use that RX input to do your receiving with your directional loop and you're transmitting on your vertical or dipole. Now, in this case, you can use the 7300. You can use any radio you want because the MFJ 1788 or 1786 will work on your transmit input. That's the beautiful part. All right, so we're going to use the back of the FTDX 5000 to make everything work. Here's how we're doing it. Now, on the receive shows from now on, since the Wellbrook's here, we're going to be using the lower right SO239. That is an RX input for the FTDX 5000. That's how we're going to be receiving from now on here. So you'll see RX pop on the screen of the rig. That's why we're doing it, because we're on an RX input through the Wellbrook. But the Wellbrook doesn't transmit. The MFJ does. Let's take a look and see how things go when we use the MFJ inside your shack to keep you on the air. All right. First, let's take a look at the rig. Okay. Here we are on 20 meters, by the way. All right. So we're on 20. There's a good look at it. We're at 14,245. You can see a little bit of that band scope. Let me move away from the mic just a little bit. This is going to take a little bit of finesse on my part to move back and forth because the radio's over here, The microphone's over here, okay? So I've turned the compression down a little bit to help you hear me better as I move away from the microphone. Hopefully don't keep bumping the pop filter, okay? Okay. Hang on, let's move over to the rig real quick and we'll take a good look at it, okay? First, there's the S meter, all right? And there is the control module for this loop. It comes with it. Either the 1788 or the 1786 has this same loop control box. It's called the MFJ Super High Q loop because it's a very narrow tuning area where this loop will be resonant enough for you to transmit, and that's transmit up to 150 watts. Okay, let's take a look at it. Okay, I'm going to move over to it real quick and we're going to turn up the audio from the rig. Okay, now what I'd like to do to start out with here is to take a look here at the band scope. So I'm bringing in the second preamplifier to really emphasize what it looks like, okay? So if we use the loop, okay, if we use the loop and we were to say, move a better camera angle here for you. Sorry, my friends. Move you out. Don't want to do that. Okay. Let's say we were to use the loop, but we want to see what the band scope will do. This is going to show directivity of this antenna. Now, one thing about being disabled is you have canes, okay? These are handy because you can spin the loop to find where the best received signal is going to come in. I'm going to show you the received signal between the loop and a vertical antenna, okay? So I can show you between the high gain AV680 vertical, or I can show you between the DX Commander all band vertical, all right? I've chosen the all band vertical by DX Commander. It's a great vertical antenna. So it's going to show you what the difference in your receive is going to be from an outside vertical antenna at 30 feet to having one inside and using it inside your home. Okay, let's see what happens. Take a look first at the band scope. I'm going to put me out of this scene so you can have a better look, okay? Okay, so you can see the noise here. Let's spin the antenna. Watch the band scope. See that? Okay. If you've missed it for some reason, what just happened there? If you've missed it, what I'm going to do is I'll tune in on the S meter as we spin the antenna. Watch the S meter, okay? This will help. So we're going to bring it on the S meter real close, okay? And I'm going to put myself in here as well, just for the purposes of you being able to see me spin this antenna to watch what the S meter does. I'll turn the audio up so you can hear it the best that we can, okay? Again, this hasn't been done on YouTube yet. To show you if you were to put an RXTX loop inside your home to keep you on the air. Hang on. Okay, so watch the S meter. Okay, so do we have any change? Let's bring down the IPO, which is the preamp. Now we're down on the preamp. Let's take a look at the S meter now. See it come down? See that? Below S3. Turn it back. We're at S4. Okay. That's the first test. All right. So we've shown now that if we were to put the radio into a loop and spin the loop, we're going to get some movement on the S meter. That's the first thing, by the way. Quick hellos. Let me get you in. Hello, Victor Papa 2, Mike November, India. Frankie in the house. Frankie, it's good to see you, man. You're from Montserrat. Oh, man, what an honor. Oh, I'm glad to see you, man. Frankie's a great DX guy. He's an awesome dude from Montserrat, just above Venezuela. Beautiful Caribbean island. Nice to see it. Glenn, good to have you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Ernest, welcome from Pennsylvania. Love the call. Whiskey 3, Golf Union Yankee. That's Whiskey 3 guy. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So we've seen that we can turn it, right? So as we turn the radio, the S meter is going to go up when we turn the radio. Sorry, when we turn the when we turn the loop, the S meter will increase. Okay, that makes it nice because we can see that there's some directionality to the antenna. That's important. Okay, let's tune to a signal now. Because this loop natively has a very narrow null to it, it's known as a high Q loop, meaning the tuning area is very narrow. We'll have to tune it. Let's find, doesn't mean you can't find signals. You'll still find signals. Let's find the signal. We're going to tune in on it, and we'll see if we can make a quick call, okay? So first, let's move back over, and I'll show you how we do it with this radio, all in one piece, okay? Oh, wait, sorry. Hold on. Let's do this. Let me get up to the vertical. Sorry, I forgot to show you that. So let's go up to the vertical. So now we're on the Callum McCormick's DX Commander all band vertical. All right, let's move to the loop. Let's turn the loop. Okay, so far, we don't have a whole bunch. We got better, but let's take a look when we tune the loop, okay? Hold on. We got to tune off frequency. Just a second. Lower the power. We're going to go down 4. We're going to emit a CW tone at 10 watts, okay? We're going to lower it down. You're going to hear the RF because obviously the loop is here inside the room, okay? So we're maximizing the tune on the loop to find the maximum SWR so we can transmit. Telling us to go up. And let me see, watch the SWR if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it from there. It's going to be hard. If I turn the lamp on, I've noticed it washes it out. So that's why I haven't turned the lamp on. So my apologies. Let me get this. And it is very narrow. So give me a moment to get it tuned in for you, okay? Because it does make a difference. It's going to tell me to go down. We're real close. It looks like we're real close. So all we're doing, and by the way, inside this loop, there is a variable capacitor that's spinning on a motor. You don't even hear the motor. Although you do probably hear my neighbor's leaf blower. And I don't know why, because they don't have any more leaves. There's no more leaves on their property. I don't get that part, but okay. Anyway. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to get this tuned all the way up to the end because what it'll do is it's going to bring up the receive passband as well as allow us maximum SWR. That's how these work. So we're going to get to the end. Just heard it. See, the light went out. It's going to tell us to go down here. So now we're going to quickly tune down, and we're just going to let it turn. Okay. I'm going to watch the meter here. So I'm going to be a little bit distracted to watch them dip. Once the left meter, there it goes. You hear the RF? You hear it all of a sudden go there, that noise. Yeah, it means we're real close. Now you're going to start hearing the RF come in as we tune the SWR down as low as we can here, okay? Keep in mind, we're inside a home using a loop antenna right next to the radio. You're going to start to hear the RF come in with a buzzing. Hear it? It's about as good as we're going to get. All right. Now listen to the radio. Okay, we're going to move to Callum's antenna. Whoops. Oh, there's a big signal. Hold on. Huge signal. Okay. Okay, so we're at 142, sorry, 14240.5. So we're going to go down to 136.5, okay? And we'll just retune. We're close, but we're going to retune, okay? So we're upper side, CW. Okay. Waiting for the signal to come back, guys. I think this is the most challenging part, honestly, of using this radio is because of its positioning. It's to my right behind the microphone. So please forgive the quiet, but you're watching the radio work with the loop, okay? Okay, so we're on Callum's antenna. I see what happened. I didn't switch over the antenna. My fault. I was wondering, why am I not getting an S meter reading? Now I know. Let's find a different signal.
I'm just sitting awake for midnight time to go start down.
Okay, so now move over to the second antenna. So the second antenna will go down 4. So it'll be at 79. And again, this is for folks who are restricted. These folks who are, stuck inside an apartment or something, and they can't do anything. So since we went up in frequency, we're going to be fine tuning up. That's all we're going to do to find the. We're going to find the SWR. It's going to come right in. Just give it a moment to drop. You'll hear it once it comes in. Hopefully over my neighbor's leaf blower. Here it comes. All right. Okay, Callum's antenna. Strong signal. My goodness. See, I'm waiting for a good strong signal to come in so I can show you the directionality here, which is going to make a big difference. It should help show why this works so well if you're space restricted. Now, this isn't for everybody. I know that. It's not for everybody. But for folks who don't have anywhere to go, for people who are stuck because they just don't have the ability to put up an antenna, this will work. Now we're currently on the DX Commander all band vertical at 30 feet. Just waiting for him to come back. Boy, that guy likes to talk a long time. All right. Sorry to change, but I don't want the show to go 2 hours, you know? There we go. Okay, this is pretty weak. It's a strong one here. Man, we're chasing. Okay. So let's move, if we can get somebody to transmit. See, this was my biggest worry of doing this show. Change antennas. See that? Still there. Hopefully this guy comes back. Take a look at the screen on the pan adapter above. And let's get the S meter in so you can see the S meter real quick. Hopefully that helps. Okay, S meter. See? S meter dropped right there. Comes back up. There's the drop right there. Okay. Sorry, my cane slipped. It's all right. See that? Look at the noise floor now. It's really low. Okay, really low. Back up to the vertical. It's not like we got a big signal here again. This guy must have been a quick QSO. It's my biggest worry about doing this show. Back up to Callum's vertical. So this is DX Commander. I'd like to have him talk for a little while. That would be helpful. Back to the loop. spin the loop, adds more noise. Also could bring more signal though. Okay. Back to the vertical. Oops. And lower the noise floor back down. All right. And there we go. So this right now, this is a very low signal, but it still pulls it in. He was stronger. I guess he's got to have a beam. He's turned it away. That's what's happened. Back up to cows. So back up to the DX command, vertical. Don't have super strong signals today. We just don't have them on 20. And then, of course, one pops right there. And then once I move to it, like the other ones, they're done. Or their transmissions are so small, so short. Just waiting for anybody to come back.
Well, that's good. At least you got a plan and things are working out. So, good deal.
There you go. Okay, and that's good enough. That will work. Okay. So, what does this show? That's always the question, right? What does it show? What it shows is that if you're stuck in a small apartment or a small condo or something like that, you can still be on the air. You can, okay? You can do it, but it's going to be different than using a full-size antenna. It just will, because you don't have that wire outside or the stick sticking up that's resonant. You don't have that outside. This is being used inside. And it's not optimal at this position. This is not optimal. But for folks who don't have any other alternative, this allows you to still be in ham radio. That's the most important part, not to lose you. We don't want to lose you. And you know what? You may not be making calls that are, 5,000 miles away this way, but you will still be on the air and make QSOs. You will. Let's try and see if we can do that real quick before we close the show. Okay? Let's see if we can give it a shot. Again, this is a receive and transmit loop up to 150 watts. They do make a new loop. It is the MFJ 1844. Excuse me, that's the 4. I think it's the 44. That one will go to 300 watts. Oh, I know what I got to show you. Hold on. I remember. Hold on. It's interesting about these loops, and the Wellbrook is very much the same. Let's move down to 40. It gets more directional. Once you go down, this antenna will get much more directional. I forgot to show you that. My apologies. Let me show you real quick. Hold on. Let's go down to 40, and we're going to give you an idea of how it affects the radio when you move this transceiver down to 40 meters and the loop spinning. Watch the band scope. First, we move to the vertical. Okay, now we move. Because we're using a loop, it's knocking the noise floor down. You have to use preamps. Let's get them up. Now, as we spin the antenna, I'm going to put the S meter on here as well. Watch. Hear him come in? Here he is on the vertical. Here he is on the loop. But if we turn the loop, he tunes out. See, the directionality changes here. Bring him back. Right there. The directionality becomes better as you go down in frequency. Let's take a look at 80. This is a very makeable QSO, by the way. In fact, hold on. Now again, the variable capacitor is spinning. You can't hear anything. And I've got the compressor with nothing. You don't hear the motor spinning that variable capacitor inside this loop antenna. You'll hear it stop, but you won't hear it rotate. Once it stops, the light will come on and it will beep. That means it's hit the end of its travel. Okay, I'm just waiting for it to reset. I'm trying to reset the loop because we're on 40 now. Now we need to go down. Quick transmission, down we go. And so what we're looking for is we're looking for the meter to drop. The meter will quickly dip. I'll try and catch it so we don't have to go too far. But basically that will then tune this loop at 40 meters within this pass band. And again, the pass band is going to be very narrow for your SWR. Very, very narrow. It's not going to be, 10 or 15 wide. It's only going to be about 7, 5 to 7 each way. There it was. You hear it come in. Look at that. It's 1.3 to 1 inside. And you can see how rotating the loop changes the waterfall that's on the display, the DMU display here on the SM5000 watch. So in essence, it's going to be like a directional antenna on an AM radio. It's going to allow you to direct the antenna towards the signal and allow you to pick it up. That's how they work. Now what we're going to do, let's go down 5. We'll listen on the vertical just to make sure. Somebody's close. Yeah, okay. This will be 21.
Weather reports or other referrals of legends to share with us, sir? Over.
Okay. You got to bring it back down to 10 watts. Tune off frequency. Move the antenna. We're going down in frequency, so we're tuning down on the loop. I've got a little birdie here on this frequency. That's all that is. Okay. So I don't want this to go forever. It's going to be a long show if we keep going too far. But you do get an idea that it does increase your gain. It will change your S meter, and you can use it inside. You can still hear the guy. So what's nice about this, for folks that are really restricted, and I mean no dipole, no vertical, no way to put up an antenna, this is an answer. It will work. Now, what does it sound like when you transmit at 150 watts, which you can do? This will allow you to do so. It's going to kind of give you a little bit of, you could get a little feedback in your headphones through this system. I don't want to go 150, okay? Just not worth doing. But the point is, you can do it. I did check with MFJ. You can do it. Mr. Jew has done it many, many times in his office using this exact loop with his flex radio right there. So, very safe. You can do it and keep yourself on the air. This is why loop antennas are very important. Now, when we go to CQ calling, and I put the show on to CQ calling here in the coming weeks, we're going to have the loop outside so that the Wellbrook receive loop will be only on the RX side. It's going to make a huge difference. You're going to see a drop in noise floor. You're also going to see signal to noise increase. That's a big deal. We'll start with that later today. So you'll see the Wellbrook in place of where the MFJ is right there. But this is a good example of letting you see what it's like for a receive and transmit loop antenna to be in your shack and use it to be able to make calls. Did I make calls today with it? No, I didn't. And to be quite honest, I didn't for a reason. Let me show you the reason. Because if I make a call, let's move down from his signal. Check on the vertical. Make sure I'm not stepping on anybody. Okay. Okay, with the processing gear and this antenna transmitting 150 watts, if I were to make calls, here's what you would hear. And this is why I haven't made calls. Is this frequency available? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Just 1 second. Hold on. Oh, of course. Now we'll go down and loop and do it. I was wondering, where's the RF? Hold on. Here we go. Is this frequency available? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. That's why I didn't do it. So it gives you an idea why I didn't do it. Let's look at your comments. Don't want to miss all that because I do like interacting with all you guys. It's special for me. This is an important show. These loops can be very directional, under 7 megahertz, okay? Under 7, very directional. Over 7, slightly directional. 14, so you're going to be at 20 and 40. Make a huge difference in signal to noise, okay? If it's outside on a receive loop. I'm talking receive loop here. I should have prefaced that. On these loops, just put them on a tripod and turn them, okay? You're going to be able to tune to where you can hear best and make your calls after tuning it in. Is it more, work because you now have to use a loop controller to be able to, tune everything in? Yeah, it is more work, but it doesn't mean you're going to be off the radio. Yeah, you might have to go and tune on this box to get yourself your SWR match when you tune, but you'll be on the air. You won't lose your love of radio. That's the whole point here. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Setting it up this way will make a big difference. You just heard why I'm not making calls, because if I do, I'm going to blow your eardrums out with RF, because there's 150 watts going through that about 7 feet away, and it is safe. I have checked. You can do this. By the way, in other news, before I go into your comments, this rumor about Kenwood going out of business is so wrong. That is not true. Okay, there is nothing to this rumor about Kenwood leaving amateur radio. They are not leaving amateur radio. Nothing is confirmed there. And I've checked with resources. All three said, that rumor again? No, there's nothing to it. Okay, let's take a look. Here we go. Wow, a lot of comments. I am just so sorry to be so late to get into. Hi, Fred. Good to see you. Sam, Victor Echo 3, Zulu, Sierra Zulu, Sam. What a joy. Thanks for being here from Canada. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. And Fred, you did make it live. I'm glad you did. Thank you. That's awesome. Isn't vertical more directional? No, dipole is. A dipole is going to transmit broadside. So where you see that V coming down, Martin, if you were to take that V and spin it this direction, right? So you're seeing down the wire only, it's going to have more gain that way than it does off the ends. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. Eric, good to see you. Joe, I was all over the place. That's for sure. MFJ in vertical position, more directional. No. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Vertical. Yes. More directional. It will be more directional. I wanted to do this with it in the vertical position, but I can't find the clamps that I have for it. That's the problem. Otherwise, we've done the show with it vertical. Easier to show that way too. So it is more directional vertical than it is horizontal. Absolutely. Because the null is essentially more up and down. So it is more directional. Great question and a great comment, Martin. Greg, thank you. You're so sweet. Thanks, man, for being nice. It's a nice comment. I appreciate it. What's the price for such a loop antenna? Be my choice after I get my license. Nikolai, something like this right now, that antenna is at 150 watts for transmit. So for most transceivers at 100 watts, it'll serve you well. Okay. So it'll be right on the air for you. Okay. I believe US now, I think it's about 550, 560 for the loop itself. Okay. So that's a receive and transmit. The tripod I checked this morning is at $120 US. So tripod plus the loop, just take a stick, don't use metal. Okay, don't use any metal. There's a reason I'm using a bamboo cane to spin that, okay? It's just because, frankly, if something happens where I click the mic and I'm touching it with a metal object, youch, not gonna happen. Gunter, good to see you. Welcome to the show. Yeah. And Traveler, hi everybody. Don't you just hate it when they stop talking? Yes, I know. And you know what, yes. That was my biggest worry producing the show. It's like, man, I know this works. I know it does. But then what if people just do quick talk, quick QSO? It messes it all up. Yes, you're right. Compare on WWV. Let's give it a shot. I'm good with that. Let's try it. Hold on a second. Let me get you back on the right camera here. Let's give it a shot. We may have to go to 10. Yeah, we'll have to go to 10, buddy. There it goes. Get some, let's see, we need to get the amplifier in. Hear the null. There you go. There's the directionality. This is on the loop right now, okay? Let's try 10, see how 10 sounds. So that's the vertical. All right. So there's the directionality there. Yeah. Back to the vertical. Back to the loop. So yeah, there you go. Good question. I like it. Good thinking on that. Ernest, very well. Good thinking. Right on your feet, man. Well done. Love that. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that very much. All right, MMX2, good to see you. Thanks for being here. What a joy it is. Thanks for coming from the UK. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Also mention the close proximity of a Mag Loop TX, 10 feet away at 10 watts. Yeah. There is some caution. If you have a pacemaker, don't do this. Very important. Don't do this, okay? A pacemaker can be really disrupted by a transmit antenna this close to you, okay? So if you have someone even in your house that has a pacemaker, don't do this. Just don't do it, okay? Very important. You're putting out a lot of power, and that jolt of RF can cause damage, okay? This is not going to destroy your radio. It's not probably, honestly, it's going to hurt you, okay? We're not talking full legal limit. We're talking 100 watts to 150. It's not going to hurt. People have done it for years. and they're not walking around with 3 eyes and burning fingers. They're fine. So just understand, though, there is that issue. Pacemakers, got to be careful. Okay. Let's see. All right. Gunter's going to be taking a nap. Have a good weekend to you. 73's Gunter. 73's. Enjoy your time tonight on the air. He's doing lots of stuff. Nikolai, 73. Would the loop be mounted, let me rephrase that and let my mouth work. Would the loop be better mounted vertically? It can. Yeah, it certainly can. It's more directional that way, Greg. Yeah, more directional. So, let's see. Eric might be looking into running in a Gunter tonight. Yep. The, going to Europe is so much easier for folks on the East Coast and even Midwest, especially like upper Midwest, or if you got a beam, you do fine. Okay. People on the West Coast, for the most part, they need directionals to be able to work Europe. Just too far of a haul. Has to go over the pole. So yeah, Gunter can get there and be able to work on it. So, it does work very, very well. And I'll tell you, if you have another option, this will keep you on the air. Okay. Compare against WWV. Yep, we did it. And let's see. Hope you don't TX while you're that close to it, Larry. If you don't believe me, grab a field mirror. No, we disagree. We disagree. And the reason I'm saying that to you, my friend, is because look at field day. Look at any time you're out there with multiple people transmitting in the same place. Where's the transmitters? Where's the towers, right? Now, granted, they're not inside a home, but there's multiples and you're right by them and nobody's hurt by that. Okay. It's the same principle, the exact same principle. You're not going to get hurt doing this. It'll keep you on the air. Now, do I recommend running 800 watts through one of these inside of a house? No, I don't. But 100 watts, 150, 300, I think you're okay. I don't see any problem there. I'm not a doctor. Don't take my advice. Seek your doctor for medical advice if this concerns you. I can only tell you that people have done this for years and had no problem. Okay? All right. So let's see. MFJ, vertical or horizontal? Again, go either way. Again, it was hard, Martin, to take a look at the screen and look at the radio. Okay. So appreciate your patience. Okay. Yeah. Stephen, made to the show. Good to see you, buddy, from the UK, I think, right? UK? Are you UK? Are you, I think you're, no. I think you're in Australia. It's good to see you. Welcome to the show. What a joy. I have actually the ALA 1530 LN. Yeah. And we'll talk about that tonight. So really, they're made only 80 miles away. Yeah. I've talked a lot with Alex here the last couple of days. Should be nice. Yeah. The high Q, yeah, it is actually, it's a very narrow no. You'll learn to work it quickly. If you're on frequency, say you're on 40, okay, you're on 7.190 and you zip down to 7.160, just tune down, fine tune down. It won't take long to get there. You just hold the button and you'll be there fast. It's not so bad. All right, let's see. You're very welcome, Dave. Good to see you. Thank you very much, Dave. It's good to see you. Kilo Delta 2 Lima Mike Radio. Yeah, good to see you, Mike. Thanks for coming. Dave, I'm sorry. Dave, thanks. Mike on the head. Sorry. It's good to see you, Dave. Thanks for coming. Yes, you're welcome and thank you. Should you not tune the loop even for TX? You absolutely need to tune the loop for TX. Absolutely, because it's SWR. It's the same as a vertical or dipole. In fact, these are made to resemble a dipole. They're broadside. They're going to transmit the way the loop goes. So if it's vertical, okay, and the loop is this way, it's going to be like a wheel, right? It's going to transmit outward from that direction. Also upward, so NVIS stuff. You can do that with it. Good question. You guys have some great questions. Great questions. Many loops to measure with the field meter. Well, how you feeling? Are you okay? Any damage? I'm just saying. Take a look at how many years people have done this. I mean, put yourself out there in the field with all these folks running 100 watts in multiple transmitters in a very similar location. They're okay. They're okay. All right. I'm looking for a way to people can stay on the air. But again, the caution is if you have a pacemaker, don't do this. Just don't. Not good. Okay. So always tune it to RX Actually, sorry, TX, not to RX. When you do tune it, though, when you do tune one of these, Martin, it does help to bring up the audio. You'll notice when you do tune SWR, because your TX path is resonant, the volume will come up. You will get more out of it. Now, is this the best way to transmit? No. No. Of course it isn't. You're inside a house with an antenna by your radio. But if you're in a building that has no way to transmit and you are stuck, this is the only way. It is. That's the honest truth. And it's the number one email question that I get by far from all over the world. It's not just one or two people. This has been over a dozen emails. I'm stuck. I may have to give up ham radio altogether because I don't have a way to put up an antenna. That's why I went to, this is why the show's late today, by the way. It's because that took a long time to put together and get up and working. So I could show you this is an alternative for you, okay? It is your one alternative to keep you on the air if you're in a building or a location that doesn't permit you to have an antenna outside. Here you go, okay? I want to thank you very much for everybody coming all the way from Gunter, who's still here. He left an hour ago, I thought, and he came, stayed back. That's nice. Thank Gunter. That's nice. To Martin in the Netherlands, my friend that's all the way there in UK as well, right? That's pretty cool. Ernest here in the United States. Dave as well, Kilo Delta 2. We've got Nikolai in Romania, and from everyone around the world. Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure and an honor to do the show. We do the show just to help people with ham radio. That's the whole point of it all. If we don't do this, we're going to have a hobby that'll be dead. We can't have that. We need to stick together, and we need to encourage each other to keep pushing the envelope and stay on the air. Here's one way. If you've got yourself in a position that you have no other alternative and there's no way to get yourself an antenna outside, here's your answer, okay? Or you can go to a Ciro Mazzoni loop. Okay, Ciro Mazzoni in Italy makes a great set of loops. One of them is like a jack stand loop, changes its shape. Pretty cool, really is. That shape will change and you can transmit up to 150 watts with it inside your house. That's how it's designed. The problem is it'll set you back about $1,800 US. Yeah. So this is an affordable solution that will help you. I have reached out to Ciro Mazzoni to ask them if we could review the product. They've told me in 2021 they'd like to do that, so I hope we can. I'd like to show you the value of that loop if we can, okay? So thanks for being here. Until next time, William, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Will not see a commercial here. Thank you for your kindness. Stephen from Liverpool, the home of the Beatles. 73, everybody from the Pacific Northwest. My name's Larry. God bless you from the Pacific Northwest of Oregon and all the way to Germany. Until next time, goodbye, everybody.